Oh, California. Rarely has it come down to you. Never before have we seen an election like this one. She's running, he's running, and this? That's Donald Trump. With Trump as a presumptive GOP nominee, the Democratic contest has taken a whole new life. How did we get here? Well, it's all about delegates. 1972 was already a crazy year for politics. We set foot on the moon for the last time, and Governor George Wallace was shot 5 times while campaigning in Maryland. But it was also the first time every state in the country had its own say in picking their candidate, at least on the Democratic side. How? Well, delegates. By definition, a delegate is a person sent or authorized to represent others. So when you vote in the primaries, you're really voting for someone to represent your choice for that candidate at the national convention where the nominee will be chosen. Now, each side has their own amount of delegates, and each state's amount depends on the population.
The reason why California, I think, is most important by far is because it has more delegates than any other state.
We have the highest population. That's part of the reason we have the highest delegates.
Now, Republicans have the choice of the state being winner take all, in which the candidate that wins the majority is awarded all of the delegates.
Great success!
Or proportional, where the delegates are dispersed depending on the voting percentage for each candidate. Democrats just have the proportional method, but they also have these things called superdelegates. A superdelegate is unpledged, meaning up until the convention, they can choose whoever they want to nominate. They have no ties to what the people want or what the party wants. They're the wild card of the bunch.
Nobody wants a wild card, okay? It doesn't make any sense. We don't want a maniac in our group, but there's no benefit to it.
Having somebody making wild decisions that make no sense, that benefits nobody.
Oh, yes. Right, yes. We're talking about you.
For Republicans, every state started voting in 1976, which pitted President Gerald Ford and former Governor Ronald Reagan.
Ronald Reagan, the actor?
Before the race reached California, Reagan acquired 901 delegates and Ford 967. Reagan won California by a landslide, putting him up 101 delegates over Ford. With 2 states left, things were looking pretty good for this actor-turned-politician. Then Ford won New Jersey and Ohio and beat Reagan with a total of 1,121 over 1,078.
I'll be back.
That was the last time California actually made a difference in the primaries. Until right now. Here we are, 40 years later, and if you haven't been paying attention, things are getting really close. Usually by now, we kind of know who our nominees are. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders have been neck and neck since the start, but those superdelegates keep getting in the way. But who are the superdelegates? Well, there's 719 of them. They can be anyone from a senator to a former president and even a member of the Democratic National Committee. They account for roughly 15% of the 4,763 delegates who will attend the Democratic National Convention in Philadelphia. California has always technically been one of the most important states, but has never been the most decisive. California holds a mighty 548 delegates, almost twice as many as Miss New York, runner-up. With Senator Sanders' 270 delegates behind former Secretary Clinton, California's 548 can turn the tide. With California's support, either of them could win. And there's one thing you can do. Just vote.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.